Amazing Zaid here, and today I'm going to be talking about my final thoughts on Ninjago Season 15 Seabound. Obviously, there will be spoilers, so if you haven't seen the season yet, leave this video, watch the rest of the season, or the entire season if you haven't seen it at all. Either way, leave this video, watch the season, and then come back to this video. But with that out of the way, let's get into this. The first thing I want to talk about that I really liked about the season was Wojira and how unique of a concept she was. Okay, yeah, Wojira, as a concept, conceptually, she was really similar to the Great Devourer, and I honestly prefer the Great Devourer over Wojira. It also doesn't make sense how Kalmar was able to control Wojira, who was millennia older and much more powerful than him. That doesn't really make sense. I also don't like the flippers in this shot or the wing-like things in this shot. They're kind of distracting to Wojira's appearance. Also, the way Wojira moved is basically, if you can imagine Firefang from Season 11, but half underwater. That's pretty much the way Wojira moved in the season. I did like how Wojira destroyed Kalmar, though, because I had kind of hoped that it would happen like that, and it did. It did happen a little bit later than I wanted it to happen, though. I wanted it to happen as soon as Kalmar woke Wojira up, kind of like what happened to Pythor when he brought back the Great Devourer. But I'm glad that it happened, even if it was a little bit later than I wanted. I also really liked Benthomar. He was kind of the non-ninja ally to the ninja, if that makes sense. Sort of the Faith, the Scott, Vanya, Twitchy Tim. I think he's a lot better than Vanya, in my opinion. I just chose Vanya because she is the closest character to Benthomar that we have so far. Now let's talk about the main villain of the season, Prince Kalmar. Kalmar was a xenophobic octopus man who hated the idea of anybody besides his own people, the Merlopians, existing. So he tried to destroy the surface world, and almost succeeded. But I still wish that Wojira was the main villain, just because I would have liked the change in gender. Because the last female villain we had was Asphira, and I really liked the change in gender. Also, for those of you who are saying that I forgot to mention Harumi as a main villain, I don't count her as a main villain because at the end of Sons of Garmadon, she kind of took a backseat to Garmadon. And speaking of Season 8, Wojira was mentioned by name in Season 8, but known as Wojira at the time. I honestly prefer Wojira over Wojira, but the surprising thing about this is that the writers never planned to use Wojira's name in future seasons. So the question remains, why'd they mention it in the first place? But that's a video for another day. Also, this season is a Nia season, and I feel like she really got some good development in this season. The way that she ultimately defeated Kalmar and Wojira was that she became one with the sea and turned into one of the most powerful elemental beings since the Golden Ninja. One thing I didn't like about this season was this one scene where Lil Nelson says,
"I know CPR."
This was super annoying for me for two reasons. One, because Nelson uses the term CPR and most people who watch the show wouldn't understand that. The second reason is because there have been a ton of jokes going around in my school about CPR, and it is just super annoying to hear it anywhere. I also don't really like Misdemeanor's insignificance in the series. Misdemeanor was kind of more of a filler character than a thriller character, but the fact that she and her criminals were transporting Vengestone could set up some development for the Vengestone buyer concept. But I really, really love the return of Shintaro. This is actually the first time since Wildbrain took over the Ninjago animation that we have had a returning location from another season. Some ideas to improve the season would have been maybe Deepstone could have played a small role, since it was an aquatic mineral mined from the bottom of the sea and used to make the arrow blades in Season 5. Also, we could have found out more about Benthomar's backstory, maybe find out how he got into that cage at the bottom of the sea. The last thing I want to talk about before ending this video is Maya. Nia's mother, and her role in the season. At the start of the season, Nia's mom was super annoying for me. Just unbelievably annoying. Hated her. But as the season progressed, she got less annoying and kind of helped Nia to develop in the season. But those are my final thoughts on Season 15. I have a feeling that Season 15 has the potential to be the best season since Master of the Mountain. If I had started my channel earlier, I would have said that Master of the Mountain was the best season since Season 8. But that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Oh, and speaking of subscribing, we hit the 50 subscriber marker today. So let's see if we can get it up to 100. As always, I'll be back with more videos real soon. Bye!